الشاكرين حمد الذاكرين الحمد لله حمد الواثقين المتوكلين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا ونبينا وحبيبنا محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيه وعبده بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وجاهد في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين فصلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, I bear witness that there is no God worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his prophet and messenger. It blows my mind to hear the story of Hajar alayhi salam. When Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam left her in Mecca. Imagine a woman that has been waiting all her life for a child, being left not by herself but with her little child in a place where there is no vegetation and no people, in the middle of nowhere, away from her house, away from her home. Yet all what she does, I mean, Ibrahim alayhi salam leaves his family, and that I'm sure it had to have, he needed a lot of trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he will take care of them. But Ibrahim alayhi salam is a prophet. You would expect that from a prophet. But what you would not expect is what his wife said. She is not a prophet, and she has a little baby. And she knows her food is going to run out. Yet Ibrahim alayhi salam is leaving her, and he's walking and he's not looking back. And she's asking, Allahu amaraka bidhalik? Did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala order you to do that? And when he said yes, she said, لَن يُضَيِّعَنَ اللَّهِ. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of this. What kind of trust a woman like that would have? What kind of trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What kind of belief she had to say these words? It blows my mind. And she's not a man that's supposed to be strong, and I'll manage, and I'll kill me an animal, or I'll dig until I get water. She's a woman, and she's not a prophet like Ibrahim alayhi salam. Yet she has all that trust. I'll give you a scenario. Imagine you are in an airplane going to somewhere about 30,000 feet up in the skies, and then they open up the door and say, jump. Would you jump? I mean, if you're sane, you would not jump. Most people would not jump. Yet there are some people, their job is to jump from airplanes. Some people actually take it as a sport, sky jumping. But before they jump, the reason why it makes them jump is they trust. They trust the person that taught them how to jump. They trust the parachute that they have, that when they pull that line, it will open up, and that would make sure that they would not crash into the ground and die. Without that trust, they will be extremely horrified, and they will not do it. It's exactly the same with us. If we don't have the trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will go through life just afraid, scared. What should we do? How should we do it? When is it going to happen? Why didn't it happen now? Why don't I have what I want now? The job, the children, the money. Why is all of that not coming now? I don't have the patience to wait. But if you trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what's best for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the sustainer, the one who sustains everybody. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does everything good for you at the right time that will be good for you and everybody else around you. Then it becomes much easier to live a happy life. Much easier to live your life trusting in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, you trust in it more than what you trust in your own hands. Whatever is in your bank already, the money that's in your bank, you don't trust it as much as you trust what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have kept for you. That money could go on medicine, it could go on an accident, you could lose it in business. There is a lot of ways that this money can go. But what you can always be sure of when you trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that what He is doing to your life, how your life is going around, is the best for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, فَإِنَّ حَسْبُكَ اللَّهِ. حَسْبُكَ اللَّهِ. You don't have to figure much. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not fulfill the needs, the dreams, the void that everybody has in their hearts for the people and the things that you would like, then nothing else would fill them up. That's why that trust makes your life again happy. So how and why should I trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The scholars said the only way you can trust Allah is to know Him. As I said, if you know Allah Razzaq, ذو القوة المتين, you read in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the sustainer that has the power and He can do that, then you trust that your rizq is okay. I don't have a problem with my rizq as long as I do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet told me to do. I go look for my rizq, I do my best, and once I find the job and I do my job accordingly, then I wait for the rizq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want to have children, I go get married, choose a good wife, and then inshallah wait for the children to come. If I need to go to the doctor, I'll go to the doctor, but then the results, I trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I have children, that's good. I don't have male children, female children, I don't have any children. If you trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you live much happier because you know that is what's good for you in this life and in the hereafter. But if you don't have that trust, we will live miserable. When you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Aziz, then you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always victorious. You know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you victory no matter what. Even if the person or the army in front of you is so equipped, so what? Wallahu ghalibun ala amri. Whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders will happen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives victory to His deen, to His prophets, and to the believers. إِنَّا لَنَنْصُرُ رُسُلَنَا وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَيَوْمَ يَقُومُ الْأَشْهَادُ. These things that we need to know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to trust Him. The more you know of the names and the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more you know how does it work, the more trust you will have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the more happiness you will feel in your life. Some of the fruits of this trust will be like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَنْ يُؤْمِنْ بِاللَّهِ يَهْدِي قَلْبَهُ. When you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will guide your heart. He will guide your heart to make the decision between right and wrong, to differentiate between what's good for you and what's bad. وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. And if you rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then that's all what you need. Allah will figure everything else for you. مَنْ ذَا الَّذِي يُقْرِضُ اللَّهَ قَرْضًا حَسَنًا فَيُضَاعِفُهُ لَهُ. If you know that when you are giving charity, you are giving that charity as a loan that will be kept by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will trust that when you give, as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, مَا نَقَصَ مَالٌ مِّن صَدَقَةٍ. You will trust that when you give that money, it's not going to decrease your wealth, it's going to increase it. When you read and you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعان. But you understand it and you trust in Allah. When you ask Him, He will give you. But you have to ask Him in the right way with that trust. There was a story about a judge. That every time he gets his salary, every month when he gets his salary, he will take that salary, and while he is going, he will go buy this house, orphans, he will give them some money. A widow, he will give her some money. Poor people, give them some money. A little bit for the masjid, here and there. By the time he gets to his house, he has no money. All his salary is gone. But most of the time, if not all the time, before he knocks at his door, somebody follows him and brings him a bunch of other money. Same or more than the money that he's already given. His cousin heard about that. And he said, MashaAllah, he's doing good things and still getting more than the salary that he usually gets. So I'm going to do exactly the same. So he takes his salary, he leaves the house, he goes to this house, that house, this needy, this orphan, and he walks slowly to his house and nobody follows him. He goes inside the house and nobody knocks at the house. He waits the first day, the second day, third day, nothing happens. The money is gone and he didn't get any replacements. He goes to his cousin, the judge, and he asked him, he said, are you lying to me? Because I've done exactly what you do. So how come I did not get replaced with that money? You know what the answer was? He told him, I trust in Allah. I do it because I trust in Allah. I don't test Allah. I don't test Allah. Trust in Allah. Don't test Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you want to give it because from inside you know that you need to give it. You know that it's better for you to give. You know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Razzaq. But if you give it to see if Allah will give you back, then you're going to be out of two, not out of one. In Surah Al-Baqarah, the story of Al-Baqarah, this story is from the Israeliyat. We don't know exactly the correct thing, but we take from Israeliyat as long as we can benefit from the story. We don't believe and we don't say it's not. The story of the cow that Musa alayhi salam ordered the people to slaughter and take the piece of it and hit the dead man so he can wake up and tell them who killed him. Where did this cow come from? Ibn Kathir says in one of his narrations that there was a good man, a righteous man, and his wife. They had a child. He was still young. The father thought that he is close to die. He had a calf, small cow, still young, and nobody would be able to take care of it if he dies. But he wanted to leave it for his son, so his son would have something after he dies. So he took that cow. He learned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of him, will take care of his child. He trusted in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, took that cow where where it could graze and eat all day long, and left it in a field. And he told his wife, once my son is old enough, tell him that he has a cow in that place, he can go and get it. So one day they became needy. So his mother told him, go to this place, go get the calf, that's ours, it looks like this, it's golden from the outside, bring it. He brings the cow, she tells him, and he was very, very obedient to his mother. So she tells him, take the cow and go to the market, sell it for $3. Let's say $3. He takes the cow, and as he's walking, he finds a man before the market. He tells him, how much would you like to sell that cow for? He said, I'm selling it for $3. He said, how about if I give you $4? I mean, 4 is better than 3, that's normal. But he wanted to be obedient to his mother. He said, give me a minute, I'll go ask my mother. He went back to his mother and he asked her that there is a man in the way and he told me that he'll buy it for 4. Do you allow me to sell it for 4? He said, yes, of course. So as he's walking to the man, he tells him, I'll buy it for 5. He said, give me a minute. He goes back to his mother. He asked her if she would sell it for 5. He said, yes. He goes and as he approaches the man one more time, he says, I'll buy it for 6. And he goes back to his mother. Now she's thinking, son, this might not be a man. It might be an angel. Ask him, should I sell the cow? And he goes back and he says, my mom says, should I sell the cow? He told him, no. You should keep that cow until somebody comes and offers you to fill the hide of your cow with gold. So he takes the cow and stays until these people were told by Musa alayhi salam to come and buy that cow. All of that because his father trusted in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he will take care of his child. We don't take care of our children ourselves. I mean, we try our best. Don't get me wrong. We go to work. We try to raise them the right way. But in reality, the one who takes care of them and us is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the one who's sustaining us. وَلْيَخْشَى الَّذِينَ لَوْ تَرَكُوا مِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّةً ضِعَافًا خَافُوا عَلَيْهِمْ فَلْيَتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَلْيَقُولُوا قَوْلًا سَدِيدًا. Let them fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those who are afraid for their little children, that who is going to take care of them after I'm gone? Well, who is taking care of you and them right now? Again, we trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ibrahim alayhi salam gets thrown in the fire and he's calm. He doesn't care. In one narration, which is da'if at its best, Jibreel alayhi salam comes and asks him, do you want anything? He said, from you, nothing. From Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows exactly what I am in, and He will take care of me. The more you know of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more you trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Give some examples to be more specific. Those people who take their money and invest it in the haram way or suspicious way, they don't really trust in Allah. Because if you trusted Him, you would not think that I am doing the right way, I'm doing the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yet I'm going to lose my money. That's not a part of trust. Those people who raise their children, let's say they have a daughter, and they raise her, they teach her the Islam, they teach her to be a good Muslimah, yet they're so scared. My daughter is having the hijab, my daughter is committed to Islam, I'm afraid she will never get married. And if she does, she might get divorced. So I have to make sure that she goes to school, she goes to university, she graduates, she have a good job. So if she gets divorced after she gets married, then she can take care of herself. That's amazing. You suppose that she's going to be divorced even before she gets married. No trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm not saying you should not do that. You should teach your child. You should send them to school. But your intention should be mixed with some trust to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rather, an example of somebody that trusts in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, somebody that refuses a job, that knows that job has shubha, that might be haram, or has some haram close to it. He refuses it. Why? Because he trusts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him without having to make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala angry with him. Because he's afraid that that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he obeys Him, will be cut. And then when that is cut, Allah will be angry with him, and he would not feel that happiness in his life. When we refuse to elect or support the tyrants, then that's to show that we trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we are not doing like other people that saying, we just want to eat, as in Naples. We just want to eat, we just want to live. Because when you trust the tyrant, you will be the first one to be affected by whatever he is doing. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from those who know and study who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from those, once we know who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, to trust Him completely. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, once we trust Him, that we rely on Him. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, once we do all of that, that He will throw happiness in our lives and in our hearts. ادعوا الله وأنتم موقنون بالإجابة. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Trust doesn't come all of a sudden. Trust is something that we learn. And the more we experience the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala runs our lives, the more we trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look at the story, again look at the story of Musa alayhi salam. The first time he met Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered him to throw his stick, and it turned into a big snake. What happened? Musa alayhi salam turned back and started running. وَلَّا مُدْبِرًا وَلَمْ يُعَقِّبْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had to call him, come back. You are a prophet, you are a messenger, and messengers are not afraid in my presence. That's the first time. The second time, he's in front of the magicians, but now he has experienced that the first time. In front of the magicians, they throw their sticks, they throw their robes, they turn into snakes. What happens? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, فَأَوْجَسَ فِي نَفْسِهِ خِيفَةً مُوسَى. In his heart. Did not show it this time, did not run away, but his heart had a little bit of fear. Could that be true? Can they do that? But we know that all that magic is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us is nothing but an illusion. يُخَيَّلُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ سِحْرِهِمْ أَنَّهَا تَسْعَى. Then he throws his stick. تَلْقَفُ مَا صَنَعَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders him. Now, he's seen it twice. The second time, he is stronger. The third time, the Pharaoh is following him, and the scene is in front of him. He holds that stick. He's holding that same stick. And the people are telling him, إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ. They are going to catch up with us, and they are going to torture us. He says, كَلَّا إِنَّ مَعْيَ رَبِّي سَيَهْدِينَ. There is no way. I have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with me, and He will guide me what to do. You learn more and more how you trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The more things you go through, the more dealings you deal with people, the more things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants you in this life, the more you trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you also have to, like I said, the prerequisite to trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to know who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to know His names, to know His attributes, and how they work. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَنْ لَوْ اسْتَقَامُوا عَلَى الطَّرِيقَةِ لَأَسْقَيْنَاهُمْ مَاءً غَدَقًا. If they stick to the sirat, to the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we will give them the sustenance of the best of water, and which is something dear in Arabia at that time. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداءك أعداء الدين. اللهم انصر إخواننا في فلسطين. اللهم انصر إخواننا في سوريا وفي العراق وفي اليمن وفي بورما وفي أفغانستان وفي كل مكان يا أرحم الراحمين. My dear respected brothers, we had a brother coming back from back home to Canada. Yesterday he died in the airplane. His name is Muhammad Yassin. His janazah, rahmatullahi alayh. His janazah will be inshallah tomorrow, going out of the Isna after Salatul Dhuhr. I urge everybody that can make some time and attend. Inshallah, tomorrow is Saturday. So inshallah, try to attend as many people as possible. The ajr will be for you before it will help him. He has two sons, Sikandar and Kizer, and a daughter. If you see them around or if you know them, give them your condolences. Trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that whatever he does, whenever he does it, is the best for you and everybody around you. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداءك أعداء الدين. اللهم انصر إخواننا في فلسطين وفي سوريا وفي العراق وفي أفغانستان وفي اليمن وفي كل مكان يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أمدهم بنصر من عندك. اللهم أمدهم بنصر من عندك. اللهم أمدهم بملأ من جندك واحرسهم بعينك التي لا تنام واكلأهم بكنفك الذي لا يضام. اللهم إنا نسألك عيش السعداء ونيل الشهداء والفوز بالقضاء والنصر على الأعداء. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من جهد البلاء ودرك الشقاء وسوء القضاء وشماتة الأعداء. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين أن نعصيك ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا. ومتعنا اللهم بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا ما أحييتنا واجعله الوارث منا واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا وانصرنا على من عادانا ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا إلى النار مصيرنا. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من النار ومن حر النار ومن زقوم النار. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من الموت وسكرته ومن القبر وضمته ومن اللحد وظلمته ومن الحساب وخزيه ومن يوم القيامة وهوله ومن الصراط وحدته ومن النار وحرها. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من النار ومن حر النار ومن زقوم النار. اللهم إنا نسألك الجنة وما قرب إليها من قول أو عمل ونعوذ بك من النار وما قرب إليها من قول أو عمل. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وزد ودم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أقم الصلاة.